My name is Jerry Madrid, president of Madrid Skateboards, and we're celebrating our 45 years of business.
And then I'm like, here's 20 grand, I need 2,000 boards.
This is probably the most important process that we have here. This is all handmade.
And I had no idea who Steven Spielberg was at the time. Maybe get down to about Golden West or a little bit further down. No, if I'd get up this early in the morning to come to work, I would stop and go for a surf first. Well, the day-to-day was going for a surf in the morning. I had to get surfing out of the way first thing. Waves do get pretty good right in this area, but today's not so much. I've had the shop in that area for over 20 years, and I was just up the street before here too, so I'd go up the coast, check out go to Boca Chica, check out the surf, maybe go for an hour session, 2-hour session, and then go on to work. Still surfing, not as much as I'd like, and I don't get up as easy as I used to. Things have slowed down a tad bit. I used to pop right up, now I have to climb up. Well, early on I was making surfboards. I was a surfboard shaper. I was doing that in my parents' garage for a number of years in the mid-60s. And we were skateboarding around. And I was working with some guys that were fiberglassing my boards. They started doing skateboards, fiberglass skateboards, so I would go over there and help them. So that was kind of my first step into the skateboarding manufacturing world. So I just started messing around in the garage again, just laminating a few boards with fiberglass and wood, and pressing them with a couple of C-clamps, that kind of stuff. My dad was saying, you may not be able to make a living making skateboards and surfboards. You might want to get a real job. So during that time, I brought my brother in, my younger brother, to help me kind of get things set up and run the everyday operations. January 6, 1976, that's the official starting of the Madrid Skateboards.
Jerry Madrid, Venice Beach, California.
Along the walls here, you guys will see stacks and stacks and stacks of maple. This is all Canadian, 100% maple. And so this is all in veneer form. So it's really thin sheets. We run them through this glue spreader here. We run 7 sheets at a time, depending on the model that we're working on. They go up onto these presses. These presses here are pressing at about 1,200 to 1,300 PSI. They sit in the presses for about an hour. We pull them out and we let them cure for about a day or two. And then we take them to our shaping. So this is our wood shop. Jerry has been very kind to let people come through and work on shapes. So you guys will see stuff from Tony Alva's, from Christian Hosoi and stuff like that. So we like to keep this wall very historical and also up to date. As soon as blanks are cured and ready to cut, we'll bring them over. And this is a router table that we have. And then that will allow us to shape through a blank. This is probably the most important process that we have here. This is all handmade. And so the majority of the industry is working with CNC machines and stuff like that. We like to give it a little tender love and care. And then we take them to back sanding. After they're done being cut and back sanded, we have our spray booth where we apply a water-based lacquer to seal the board to make sure that it's not prone to weather damage, any kind of warping or stuff like that. After the boards are lacquered, take it over to our heat transferring. These are all the graphics that we have available at the moment. Boards come out of there, they come through here, they get cleaned up. We get grip tape, and then we have a final product ready to ship.
Well, at the time, there was really no way of coming out with different concaves to really try different things, different kicktails, that kind of thing. I had some experience with molding. I was able to do a mold very, very inexpensively. For about $500, I could make a mold. So then I started branching out and making molds for other companies. Did something similar to that for Santa Cruz. We made it one of their first concaves. Then for Skull Skates and the Tub Tech, it got out of control. Where the concaves went very extreme. The guys were hurting their knees because there was so much angle. It was totally new because nobody had really had the opportunity to try different concaves. So from that, we applied that into regular pool decks. I made a couple molds for Christian Hosoi and a lot of other companies as well.
Being part of the Madrid history is something that I take pride in as well. I consider them family, let alone great business people. I connected with him probably in '82 when I first turned pro, and he was making some of my Sims boards. And then of course, the graduation of me starting my own company Soy Skateboards, which I launched it with a hammerhead shape, and it was me and Jerry in here, and he's like, what? What is this shape? I came in here with like a bag full of cash, you know, that I borrowed from a friend, and I'm like, here's 20 grand, I need 2,000 boards. And he's like, I got you, bro, let's do this. And I just remember that being right here in Madrid and seeing the excitement that Jerry would even have, you know, being part of what was happening. And the rest is history with the Soy Skateboards and, you know, Madrid helping that dream come to reality.
It was growing very rapidly, and our goal was not to have a Madrid skateboard line, per se. It was mainly to be like a farm team. We had to have test riders. You know, a lot of test riders would come our way, and we send them over to like Santa Cruz or Sims or Veriflex, and that's how we kind of developed our own reputation. Then guys just didn't want to leave. They wanted to stay on Madrid.
So there was a street contest here in Huntington Beach, and I was skating for Santa Cruz Skateboards. Didn't have a pro model out, but I was hoping for it. And I ended up doing pretty well. I think I got 4th place, and I was kind of hoping that that could maybe solidify my spot with Santa Cruz a little bit. But there was one guy there, and it was Jerry, and he actually came up to me at the contest and was super cool. And he said, hey, if Santa Cruz isn't going to offer you a model, I would love to talk to you. And I was just like, yes, thank you. The funny thing was I was already working on graphics and drawings and stuff and ideas for new shapes. So my first meeting with them, I brought them artwork and I brought them ideas, and I don't even know if he was even that prepared that I was going to do that. So when I came in, I was just like, I have an idea for a new shape. I have an idea for a new graphic, which was this graphic right here. This is the first graphic that got produced. It actually gave me the confidence to keep going. It actually gave me the confidence to take me where I'm at now. So I owe a lot of it to Jerry and Madrid. So that's the beginning of it right there.
Really, for me, it was getting together with the riders and talking to the pro guys. They know what they want, what kind of kick they want, what kind of length, what kind of wheelbase. So I would work directly with them, and then I'd make a mold or a shape for them.
We try not to put too much restrictions on ourselves, to be honest. I think something that makes Madrid unique is that we like to have a big variety of styles. We don't like to just say this one artistic style is how we define ourselves. We like to be able to branch out and kind of have something for everyone. Well, the first thing that really stood out to me was the Back to the Future connection. I grew up watching that movie on repeat, wore out the VHS tape. And so once I realized, I was like, damn, Madrid was the one that made that. I was like, there's some good history here. And then just talking to Jerry's friends, meeting a lot of the 80s pros, you know, John Lucero, Lester Kasai, those guys, you know, they get together with Jerry and just tell stories from back in the day. And that just made me realize how deep and rich the Madrid history is.
The first one was Back to the Future. That was huge. They approached us early on. It was a big nut to crack back then to actually buy ourselves into that brand placement, which is a lot of money to do that kind of stuff. Well, we had no idea how good the movie was going to be until later on. So it was just a shot in the dark, you know. We thought, okay, well, it might be a good movie. I had no idea who Steven Spielberg was at the time. You know, that was not on my radar.
I do think that our biggest accomplishment has been our partnerships with major brands, movies, being on Stranger Things, Back to the Future, having the shoe with Vans. Like, I think that those kind of cross-cultural sort of events have been our biggest accomplishment. It gets eyes on you beyond what you would normally get, even just in the skateboard industry. You know, when Stranger Things, the season 2 premiered, I heard that 14 million people watched the first episode that had our board. That's so much more than we would ever get from, you know, any of the traditional forms of advertising that we would do, or through our socials or anything like that. So that gets us to reach a bigger audience, and ultimately it helps us to grow skateboarding as you get more people involved into the sport, and I think that really helps everybody. Well, you know, skating continues to progress at a crazy rate. I think everybody knows that. I like to see how our Madrid team has evolved in the last 10 years. I'm really proud of the guys that we have on the team right now. You know, we got Desmond Lane, just a sick all-terrain skater, who, you know, when he drops in the bowl, everyone turns their head and watch. And then we got Daniel Yeager, who's just a crazy tech skater. You know, I'm really proud to have those guys on the team and proud of some of the videos we've been able to make together.
To me, it's just like my family, honestly. I know everyone at the shop and the warehouse, and Madrid's just this part of skateboarding that's been there since the 70s, and has just been doing its own thing the whole time. And I thought it was really sick opportunity that they gave me to skate for them and be a part of the family, basically. So it's just having fun and skating, honestly.
I think Madrid's right for me just because of how they run and how the team works together. We work very well, and I think everyone on the team kind of skates a little bit differently, which makes us unique. You know, like they have transition, street guys, and we all kind of just combine the way we skate all together, and it makes it fun going out skating. You get to skate new skate spots together, and just the company all around is, you know, super sick, and this feels like home to me, seriously. So I'm excited to keep skating for Madrid.
You know, when you choose, you know, whether it's a brand you get sponsored by, who you want to identify with, who you're going to make your boards from, you know, Jerry was like a friend as well, and a craftsman. He was a master craftsman. To me, we're making the same, you know, dream come alive. He's creating the board so that I can skate, and then I'm skating to inspire other people to want to skate, and that is like that pay it forward thing that we identify with. I think that was the cool relationship that me and Jerry had. Jerry really embraces skateboarders' ideas, skateboarders', you know, radical ideas, and he's trying to work with them to create a product that's going to be supreme, that's going to be elite, that's going to be the best on the market. And then for the person who is like creating the board, like for me, I'm always looking at the details and going, you know what? I want it to look like how I feel. And it may not look like how someone else feels, but Jerry is always there going, let's make it how you feel. Let's make it how you want it. Jerry Madrid's future and Madrid, the skateboarding brand's future is really, it's always just begun. It's always fresh. There's never a, okay, let's reinvent ourselves. They've been doing the same amazing stuff since day one. I don't think they've ever stopped. Madrid is going to continue to evolve. They're going to continue to grow. They're going to continue to listen to the riders. They're going to continue to be one of the cutting edge, you know, manufacturing brands in the world, because that's just who they are. It's natural for them. They're not trying to do it. They've just been doing it, and they're passionate about it. And, you know, so the future is bright for Madrid. Jerry, let's see what's happening, bro. Let's bring it. 2021, we're here. Boom.